Good evening, everybody. It's the Truth Serum coming back. Good evening. Rocking and rolling. I'm spitting them out. And I've been thinking about a lot of things. And thank you for your support, number one. Subscribe, share, whatever you can to support me, even if it's just commenting or subscribing or anything like that. If you want to join a membership level, feel free. The links are there. And yeah, I don't really want to do too many more Sammy the Bull Gravano stories or Mike F, but I'll keep I'll keep them going. Um, and you see in the thumbnail, Sammy the Bull Gravano, the FBI agent. Well, you saw that he did a 1997 interview with Diane Sawyer, and he was she was asking him all these great interview, and she's carrying on, and he more or less was stating, "Oh yeah, I'm a rat, but I'll go back to New York. You know, big tough guy. I'll go back to New York, no problem, no problem." Well, you all know what happened after that. He disappeared. He's in a hole in the wall, some cave somewhere. That he never went back to New York. A true New Yorker, and so historically, the historical rap or narrative on Sammy the Bull Gravano is, well, he turned because, I ratted because I thought he was going to rat. And then the other guy thought he was going to rat. So I ratted, so they played that game. But I'll tell you, and I heard it from old timers, that before that charade came out, that I heard allegedly that Sammy the Bull Gravano was already doing business with the FBI, and he had some carte blanche because he was a holder in many companies, so many different companies, construction type of companies all over the place, and I don't know if he kicked back money to the FBI. I'm not sure. I could only allege these things because I call it like it is. I mean, but if you maintain this relationship with the FBI and you got an ongoing relationship, you will get either 100,000 a year or 200,000 a year. Well, that's peanuts, Joe, to the money he made on these other things. Yeah, it's peanuts, but you're in a safe relationship with the FBI. Whatever the dollars are, you're in a safer relationship. One might argue and say, "Oh well, he had millions in different construction company titles and names and various things," but it all starts and ends with the FBI. No kidding. That's a safe statement to make. So, and he had the rapport with the FBI after he got busted, became a rat, and then he ran off. He was all over the country before they finally stationed him in a final location. And me, to answer that question, I would say he didn't go through the academies or all the paperwork to be an FBI agent, but whatever he did was on behalf. He might as well have been an FBI agent, because if you derive money from the FBI, you're on their payroll. You can flip it, flop it, zig it, zag it. If you get paid, if you get ingratiated or satisfied with consideration or payment thereof, then you work for them. If you mow the lawn for somebody and you get paid, well, you worked for them that day. So you can flip it and everything else. So he might not have been a badged agent, but he did better work than the agents. I'm saying allegedly before it all became worldwide news that there was a lot of other wise guys that were on the payroll with the FBI that were getting paid either $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year. I don't know if it's public knowledge that you can go in to look at, but Google it, find out. Or whether the FBI wishes to release stuff. Because everybody says, all the knuckleheads, all the YouTube demographic of whether something is true or false is, well, go to the FBI, the 204, the 404, all the coffer, all that, and then if it's in there, then that's facts. If the FBI could put anything they want in those proffers. What are people just ignorant, or they just don't know? I got swampland for sale, but I would say more than anything, he was infiltrated. He was compromised long before it came out publicly, on the headline news. How's a guy that admits to 19 or to 36 murders, dating back way back, that he's still running around? They were locking up everybody left and right. Yeah, he did time here and there, and that's another thing. That's another to prove my case, that he did so many crimes that he should have been locked up for life, number one, based on the other crimes. But he already was in relationship with the FBI. Okay, if he did 6 years or 4 years, he didn't do 25 or life. So how all of a sudden a man that whoever might have had 4 murders under his belt was walking free then? So, like, I'm to reinforce my theory, if you take all the evidentiary stuff and say, well, I got to make an assessment. Me personally, I don't know about you. Me personally would say he was working with the FBI probably after his second or third murder. So he was working both sides of the fence, and he would give them some juice here or there. How would he continue on to get away with so much after that? No. And in those early days, he didn't have the representation like John Gotti had, as far as lawyers and everything. So I'm just saying, you folks believe what you want. I mean, it's a weird demographic out there that watches the mob stories and the mob channels. I don't have a record. I'm nobody in that. I ran around years ago, and I knew people left and right. But it's like they'll tell you anything, and the viewers don't care. That's in their defense. The viewers don't care. It's just entertainment, and Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull Gravano are enemies, and they did the sit down with Vlad, and it's just all entertainment. All entertainment. I mean, that's marketing. That's entertainment. That's money. And Sammy the Bull Gravano did his best work for the FBI, in my opinion. Allegedly. His trajectory with his relationship, historical relationships, excuse me, with wise guys and the FBI. It wasn't the traditional historical relationship. No. He more or less, I don't want to, you got to watch what you say on here, but you can spoon feed the FBI information, and then you could maybe his competition. he doesn't want somebody or a rival business or competition there, and then the fallout, the collateral damage could be somebody got hurt or killed over that, and there were cases, maybe not specific to him or specific to him, but cases that were publicly made known where wise guys were working both sides of the fence, and then they're sicking the FBI over here, and then a lot of bad things happen. So the FBI, there was a lot of wise guys that were on the FBI's payroll. My guess was Sammy the Bull was on their payroll way before the Sammy the Bull Gravano, all you folks knew. Way back. I did 19 murders, 36 murders. Well, I didn't know if I pulled the trigger on 8 and then I ordered 16 or what. He makes a lot of contradictory statements, but the fact of the matter is that there were bodies all over the place. But I think when it came out, when he was in the hearings, when they put the congressional hearings and everything, and Sammy the Bull Gravano was doing the hearings, he was coached by the FBI so tight where that's just remains, that's information that won't be disclosed for the public eye. And a couple of times he might say, "Well, I refuse to answer that based on the Fifth Amendment, my right to remain silent, whatever it is. I wish to exercise my Fifth Amendment right." So they were already prepped and schooled and everything else, because he was a loose cannon, and he could have got up there during those hearings and said, "Oh, listen, folks, I got to tell you the truth. I've been dealing with Agent so-and-so from way back when. I've been on the payroll," or they throw me envelopes, this and that. He was a loose cannon. So then when it was all said and clear, they tuck him away in a cave somewhere, and he never comes out of his cave ever since. They said, the FBI, that's the only way it's going to be, or you're going to jail. You were going to go in a cave. You could write books. You could do a YouTube channel. You could do everything you want. But at his age, like he told Diane Sawyer, "Yeah, I'll go back to New York and walk down Fifth Avenue and everything else and everything." He never went back. I thought he was tougher than that. I mean, if you live a life, mob life, that you just walk a tightrope every day, and your life is on the line, and you become immune to that after a while. Walking the streets in New York is nothing, and especially a lot of those people were dead at that point. He's pushing 80. I mean, just take one little walk, Sammy. Back in Brooklyn, or wow. Guess he don't have the cayunes he claimed to have. Maybe John A. Light was right. They try to bash each other and everything else, but I look at it through a different lens. A lot of people are just spoon-fed whatever you see on YouTube or these mob characters, and then how much credence you put into it. But and like I would rather, and hey, Dapper the Rapper. And the thing is, now you got Mike Francis. He's in a fortress out in California. He doesn't go back to New York. The two most recognizable YouTube names, mob personalities, one's in a cave, one's as far away as you can get away from New York City on continental America. What are you afraid of? Tough guy gangsters. What are you afraid of? Go walk your neighborhood. Go to the restaurants you like. Go to Madison Square Garden. Go to Central Park. Aren't you New Yorkers? You turn out to be two little scaredy cats. God forgive me. I mean, that's their business. That's their prerogative. But if you want to be, under those lines, no matter how tough they talked, all the rats wish they would have kept their honor. Yeah, when the end comes. Yes, Brossman. When it's all said and done, and they think like, and why is it still an issue if they think whether Mike Francis cooperated with? Why are these all like debatable issues? If they have a mob channel and they're 75 and they're on YouTube, well, then they cooperated, okay? Jeez. I don't know. I mean, jeez. I didn't partake in any of that criminal stuff, but I don't have immunity. But I don't need immunity because I didn't partake in anything else. I didn't do any of that bullshit. But they act like the FBI proffer 101, 202. They act like that's the end all, the final the final verdict on to figure out facts on these mob personalities. You could go after the Freedom of Information Act. You can go have access to those things, and you want to look up some of those files. Out of 2 pages or 4 pages or 6 pages of those proffers, 97, 98% of it's blacked out. for the mob detectives that want to go out and look at it. So what does that tell you? Why would the FBI hide that stuff? Even under the Freedom of Information Act, why would they hide that stuff? It's all black magic marker. It's all, you'll see what it'll say is on the day of July 4th, 1984. So, and then, yeah. And then the next sentence will say, he arrived at Bensonhurst, blah, blah, blah. And then he met blacked out. And, it's a joke. They should have just blacked out the whole thing. There's not a sentence that is that comes to fruition. So you want to research that stuff. It tells you within itself that the FBI doesn't want to disclose that stuff because it would just say they can't disclose that these people that you want to research were co-agents. And if all the mob viewers and all the people that love all the mob channels and everything and all that stuff, would that change your view on these guys if you knew they were rats? Or maybe it don't matter if they're rats or not. They just tell good stories. That's all. But I say one thing about Mike Francis, and he's a bad mamma jamma. He made more money than since the mafia ever existed. Mike Francis made more money than every mobster on planet Earth. Add it all up, and you still nobody made as much money as Mike Francis. Nobody. If gangsters are to run a enterprise, and if the mafia exists to make money, Mike Francis is the most successful gangster ever on planet Earth. Case closed, bar none. Bar none. It's not even debatable. He's got Scarface Al Capone beat. Well, they say the Al Capone money back in that era, what it would be worth today, that's a drop in the water. What would Al Capone money be worth from that era to this era? Evaluate that money to current times. It's not even 1% of what Mike Francis made. It's not even 1%. Mike Francis, if you determine who were the most successful gangsters that ever existed, Well, how would you determine that? What criteria would you use to say who was the most successful gangsters? Well, gangsters are in business to make money, not sit in a back room and play pinochle. They're in business to make money. What did Mike Francis do? He probably made a half, three quarters, or $1 billion. A billion, 1,000 million. It's hard to compete against. That's hard to go up. I mean, I said a lot of things about Mike Francis, but he is the most successful gangster. Now, if you think a gangster, if you think a gangster is a guy who did the most hits, and he's a successful gangster, there are some hitmen that you never even heard of that did 30, 40, 50 hits that just never came on YouTube. Their names never appeared. But some YouTubers think, oh, if they didn't hear their name on YouTube, then they don't exist. Really? What you see on YouTube from mob personalities is 5% of the life. Newsflash. That's 5% of the life. What Mike and all these other personalities tell you. That's 5%. So there were a lot of guys that didn't get busted, and they were successful hitmen as far as doing their job. So if you define a gangster that got away, a successful gangster as a hitman that got away, yeah, there was a few that got away and never got busted. But if you define a gangster as how much money a gangster made, and that criteria is used to determine whether he was a successful gangster or not, it's not even a match. It's not even a match. And on top of the gas scheme money, he had other enterprises that most viewers don't even know about. Mike Francis had other enterprises. So, yeah. Well, so, and Sammy the Bull Gravano, I don't know how you view, if you got money from the FBI, does that mean you work for the FBI? If you have an ongoing relationship with the FBI and you keep getting payments, does that mean you work for the FBI? I don't know. People might have different interpretations of that. If you do activity and you receive money from those actions and energies, well, then I would say you worked for the FBI. That's all. If I had a client that needed some therapy, and I had a client that I was giving therapy to, and I got $50 at the end of the session, well, I derived monetary gain from that client, so I am working for her. It's just easy common sense logic. I'd say Mike Francis is well worth over $1 billion. Well, now he's on his channel. He's selling everything on his channel but his socks. He might even dip those in that wine he makes, and you get a special deal on the wine-soaked socks. The wine-soaked socks. God bless him, though. He's an American patriot, and he's for the country. But what's left on YouTube for mob channels after Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull are gone? What's left for the mob channels? What's left? There's 2 dinosaurs that are left. What's left? Me, I got 500 subscribers, and I was an associate. I wasn't a member. I didn't become a member because I wouldn't be here today. If I did become a member, I wouldn't be here today. For the fact that I would have either got whacked, or as a former member, I would never come on a social media channel. So for those 2 reasons alone, if I became a member back then, I would have got hit. And then, or for the fact that I was a member and I reached my age, I wouldn't I wouldn't. I got old timers that slap me in the freaking head saying, "What are you doing on there as it is?" I say, "Well, I'm 60." They don't approve of it. The wise guys that made it to 60, 70, 75 years old, they don't approve of social media, YouTube, wise guys being on channels. They don't approve of it. No, no. Last time I looked, I thought the mob was supposed to be a secret fraternity. Mike Francis has 10 million subscribers. I guess it's no secret fraternity anymore. It evolved into something different. The mob don't exist anymore. The mob don't exist anymore, folks. That's all there is to it. There's organized people that run rackets, but as far as the mob, the hierarchy and structure, it does not exist. Joe and Mary Smith could be running a racket over there. They are organized crime. If you're making money and you're pretty good at it and you're making money, anybody, that's deemed organized crime. That's defined and labeled as organized crime. But not to be confused with mafia organized crime, because that doesn't exist anymore. Oh, who's the current boss on YouTube? Google it, the current boss of the Colombo and the... Oh, look it all up. It's all bullcrap. Look it all up. The most they're doing is they're bookies. They're bookies. It's legal. It's legal now. Sports betting is legal. So what do you think? These old Italians or these generations of mob families? What do you think? They're out in the streets selling crack and cocaine and heroin? You do you think they're on the corner selling drugs? No. If you have questions, I'm giving you the answers. They're undisputable answers. Undisputable. There's bookies out there that handle big bets because there's some people that don't want to bet and be on paper, like in casinos, FanDuel, DraftKings. If you make a score, the government knows it. No, there's high roller bettors that there's bookies that exclusive bookies that handle big numbers, higher numbers. They ain't taking $10 parlays or $20 parlays, my friends. There's high class, high level bookies. So, but that's not even organized crime. They don't have a strong arm. Those guys don't have a strong arm guy. Like if this executive at IBM that bets $25,000 a week, if he misses a week, the guy doesn't have a strong arm guy to go over there and break his legs. The guy could blow $1 million and he's good for it. So they're not going to sweat it. It's all high class. It's not the traditional, if you don't pay, break his leg. No. The mafia doesn't exist anymore. All the most you can get out of the mafia now is the stories from the YouTube personalities. And that's it. You know who the organized crime is? The government. You figured it out, folks. The government runs the rackets now. When they run the rackets, it's legal. But when the Italians run it, it's a crime. Okay. How many people rotted in jail and did life in jail for racketeering? But when the government does it, it isn't a crime. Times are truly changing, my friends. Times are truly changing. So, Sammy the Bull, Gravano, I would say, allegedly, I would guess, he was on the payroll of the FBI way, way, way before he read it. Way before. And then some. Now the traditionals, like when Mike Francis was talking to the FBI, more or less that time frame jives with what is historically known. I wouldn't say Mike was in bed with the FBI prior to the time that it's public record. But Sammy the Bull Gravano, I would say and guess, allegedly, was way, way, way when he became the rat that the whole world knew of. And that's that. And I know old timers that were around, real guys, 75, 77, real guys that were around. These were sharp guys. They didn't go do life. They're sitting on big money out in the freaking suburbs, living good in their old age. These are the guys that made it. These are the guys that made it. They had a successful career in the mob. And they know every person from Cleveland to New York City and everything in between. Didn't get past them. From whatever crime family you were in. No, so as a reference or hearsay, I don't consider that hearsay from a guy like that. And you know what? Them guys have nothing to gain. They have nothing to gain by statements that are made. On YouTube, people throw all kinds of crap around, oh, boom, boom. They get views, thumbnails, and everything else because they have something to gain. Them guys have nothing to gain. They're all riding out into the sunset, going to Hawaii, going to Moscow, going to Great Wall of China, going to the pyramids. They had a successful career. And I believe what they say. I have to say allegedly just for YouTube terms and everything else. So that's it. I would have to say there's been so much said about Sammy the Bull Gravano, and a couple people asked me blah, 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 or whatever. You know, I could care less at this point in time. I could care less. It ain't going to make me or break me. I'm trying to get some members here and build up more subscribers, get more support. We're doing the NFL. You know, we made a score in the NFL. I mean, the guys, the two subscribers that went for the yacht club, they made some money. I gave them all winners. I gave them winners. And check my videos. The one thing about here is if I say I won or I picked this or picked that, you have the privilege to go back and look at the videos I did and what teams I picked. So that's undeniable. But I don't have the money I'm not a high roller. I don't have much income at all. And I wish I could take a chance on betting. You know, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I'm honest. I can't afford it. But I had a couple guys at the higher level membership that I talked to, boom, boom, boom. And they got down. They pounded. So that's where the support comes in. See, I don't really want to do specific guys that come in and, well, you're a $50 member, you're a $30 member, you're a $20 member. Just support the channel so I could just give my picks and input out. That's all. I don't want to differentiate between levels and everything. If you can support or throw me a bone, that's all. I'm not going to split hairs over here. I'm not going to change anybody's diapers. It is what it is. I'm not going to sweat after it. That's all. But I'll tell you one thing. When NFL is over, I'll be batting probably 800. That's all. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Just like anything else, you can review the tapes, just like the challenge flag. Review, just like the challenge flag. Go back and look at the video. That's all. If you want to be sucker gamblers, I don't know if my viewers are gamblers. But I only need 5 or 10 that are serious gamblers, and we rock and roll. That might not be for my average viewer. That's all right. But I'm going to promote it, whether you guys like it or not. I'm going to promote it. Wherever it goes, it goes. I've done 300 channels. I mean, I've done 300 videos day and night for a year and a half. I've been blocked, censored, and everything else. I don't tiptoe. I don't beat around the bush or anything. I come right out what I say. These people that got the fish hooks in their pocket when they reach for something, they get cut by fish hooks. They ain't for me. They ain't for me. Like I said in the other video, bye, get the fuck out of here. I don't, and I'm trying not to swear anymore. I'm trying to keep it clean. business. It's all business. It's all business. That's all. And the people that want to discuss the football games in the chat, that's over. That's over. The other day it was all flooded with this game. What about this game? What about that game? What about that game? What about this game? You don't support the channel? Go. If you're a gambler, go blow your money somewhere else. That's all. That's all there is to it. That's all. What about this game? What about that game? What about this game? What about that game? You wouldn't even do the $4.99 membership. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I'm monetized now. I've been through the trenches. I'm here to make money. I don't have a lot. I'm here to make money. This is an exclusive channel. Exclusive channel. That's what it is. Yeah. Like James Niagara. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost, bro. Get lost. James Niagara. Get lost. Get lost. Ha. LOL. Get lost. Get lost. You got your communion money. That's how these people are. I'm not even really going to pay any credence to the comments anymore anyways. That's it. That's it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. When you're doing videos and everything, you don't need that back and forth banner, especially if you're touting football or trying to give picks out. Oh, I had this 2-teamer. I had a 9-teamer for $5 and I got, yeah, well, God bless you. Go pay your rent and your electric bill. What do you want from me? I need hard hitters here. This is the High Rollers Club. It's the High Rollers Club. Well, I'm sorry, James. Forgive me. Forgive me. Maybe not you, but maybe some other people. Maybe not you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But on Sunday or whatever, why am I being that way? This guy says. Because when I'm giving my picks, everybody's in there talking about all these games. What about this game? What about that game? Become a member and I'll do those things. You know, become a member. I don't need you to pray for me, bro. You'll pay for me. Bye. You're getting blocked. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bro. That's how much I care. I try to be nice. Try to be nice. This is what I get. A panhandler, a chiseler that's got his communion money. That's all. That's all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bro. That's what you get here. This is an exclusive. This is exclusive, bro. This is exclusive. That's all. That's what we're doing. This is an exclusive. This isn't for the crowbars. I did my time with those videos being censored and everything else. I did my time. You know, I'm going to do just like I told the story, just like for the regular viewers. But there's a guy questioning in here, how come I want support for my channel? Really? What's that all about? The two guys I gave those winners to that were on, that they paid $50. They paid $50 for that membership. Well, they made a ton of money, them guys, for the 50. But chiselers like this guy here, it's not for them. It's not for them. You know, if you pay $4.99 or $10.99 or $24.99 or $49.99 I know people are strapped. But a gambler that's sending it in, a gambler, that's who that's for. That's what that membership is for. A gambler that's sending it in. A $50 bill is nothing. A clown like this can't understand it. Then I don't need to babysit him. That's all. And it's not just going to be all sports picks. I'm doing regular content like I've done the other 324 videos for free, never selling nothing. I barely try to even sell my book. So come on. Can I eat? Can I eat? Oh, we want to hear this or that. Well, yeah, I'm doing my best. I don't have the studio equipment. I don't have microphones. I do it upstream. I ride upstream. I've hung in there trying to tell you guys great stories all the way through. I appreciate the support. I'm over 500 subscribers, but it's not easy. Maybe I make it look easy, but it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I'm just saying for a gambler, and most gamblers that are doing sports betting, they're losing. They're losing. Maybe I can provide a little input, a little insight on some of the picks. My 4 best bets won that were cinches, and I even gave 2 of them for free. Look, my videos are there. My videos are there. I can't just be up here lying out of both sides of my mouth. My videos are there. And the members, I threw another couple in there and told them what to do with to change the and if a team's -6 or 7, make them -12 and get odds. Specialized information. I gave some free general information that some of you folks should have freaking won on. Look at my video, the college and the pro. Look at it. Tell me what my record was. That's all. If you can just, McDam, if you can just any gambling proposition is tough, but if you're a spot better and you wait in the bushes, you can't just have a shopping list of bets, 14 parlays, 5-team parlays, or whatever. That's why I'm saying there's different membership levels here or there. If there's a team that you want to smash and you did your homework on, you smash it, get rewarded for it. But there's casual bettors that don't care too much or anything else. I'm looking for the exclusive 3 to 5 people that want to rock and roll. A guy made a score already on that membership. A guy made a score. Now he's got a membership. He could pay for the membership. You renew your membership every month, so he could renew his membership every month now for 3 years for what he made. 4 years off of a couple bets. That's the people I like. They're not shy. They pound. They're pound. They don't tiptoe. They don't tiptoe around. You get clowns here in the chat, and like this James Niagara, whoever he is, you get these gangster wannabes that come in, ba 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 ba, and all that. These counterfeit people. At least my channel's called The Truth Serum. I don't have a filter sometimes to a fault, but if you would see through it anyways. If I wasn't honest with you folks, the wise guy people that were sharp would say the guy's full of shit. So how could you not be honest? I want the sharp thinkers. You would see through it anyways. Hey, we all take shots. We're gamblers. You win, you lose. That's all. You win, you lose, you lose. If you can't afford to gamble, don't gamble. That's all. If you can't afford to gamble, don't gamble. If you got kids and bills and a mortgage, car payment, don't gamble. Don't gamble. That's all. Because I'm also a Christian too. I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people to get hurt and devastated. I seen how people got ruined by it. If you can't afford to gamble, don't gamble. If you can afford to gamble, then you can afford to be a member shot, A good gambler only wins 55% of the time. Well, that's not a static number. There's professional gamblers that win 80% of the time. There's professional gamblers that make a window of 55% to 65%. So you got a window. But if you can make enough, you can realize enough in that window. And these guys that are making $1,000 spot flat bets on 5 teams, what is wrong with these people? You got to go 4-1 to make 58% of your money. 58%. You got to go 4-1, which is never going to happen. Not these layman people on the streets. I can do it, but not the Joe Blow gambler. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I used to do my tax return under professional gambler. I used to do my tax forms back in the day under professional gambler because I had accumulated, the winnings. And that was from horse racing, a lot of it. I was a businessman, college educated, university educated, Dean's List in statistics, math, psychology, verbal communications, industrial behavior, everything. Not just some Guido up here, oh, I got a winner, yeah. This is for exclusive people. I don't want, that's all. This is just a sidebar from my regular channel. People want to take a shot on betting and become members? Go ahead. If you like my channel anyways, without the sports, without any touting, support my channel anyways, a fin a month. That's all. Gambling aside, if you like my content, throw me a bone here or there. $5, $10. If you like my content anyways. I've been through hell. I've been censored and blocked so many times. But now YouTube, I'm in partnership with YouTube because I qualified. I reached the criteria, 500 subscribers. Now they're being a little more easier on me. And now, if people are just popping in about the thumbnail that I did about Sammy the Bull Gravano, FBI agent. Well, Sammy the Bull Gravano alleged, or I would guess, because I have to say alleged, or I would guess, was on the payroll of the FBI long before you folks, when he became the publicized rat of the world. I would guess, because I have to put it in those terms, that he was on the payroll way, 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 way before that. Way that. How would a guy that claims to have 19 murders or 36 murders be able to be a free man long enough to complete all those murders? How would he be alive? Thanks, McDam. That's you guys kept me going before I had 500 subscribers. I'm not a tough guy. I don't want to talk smack to these, but sometimes you can only take enough of the troll or railbirds, and I don't want to do that anymore, McDam. I want to be nice. I try to promote love and compassion over here, amongst mob stories, and gambling. You're talking gambling, then you're talking mafia stories, and then you're throwing Jesus Christ too. It's like, jeez. So, I'm worried about God and Jesus Christ to do the right thing than any wise guy coming to chase after me, because there's none left anyways. There's none left. But McDam and you guys and the other guys, you guys kept me going. I didn't get a lot of views, 20 views, 40 views, 60 views, 70 views, but I kept getting subscribers. Even after they froze, even after I got frozen and censored and everything. And if you've been around, I've been fighting YouTube for a long time, because I used to just get crazy and nuts, and I got so animated on stuff. And I'm gonna do the review later on this week, because there's a lot of injuries, McDam. There's a lot of injuries and stuff. It's still too premature to do. I looked at some things, as far as the NFL is concerned. So there's some things going on with some quarterbacks. There's quarterback issues on a few teams that's got to be sorted out first. Joe Burrow's going to try to play tonight with that bad calf, and how far can he go? They could put Joe Burrow in for one play tonight and say, well, take him out. Well, all you guys that bet Cincinnati, you're stuck with the backup quarterback. No, we got to wait. I didn't even discuss anything as far as Monday Night Football was concerned, because it wasn't appealing. I'm just not going to tout every game like those classic touts. They just tout everything. No, if I don't speak on it, it's like no, there's no. The games I picked, I did all right on. The games I picked, I did okay. But they just want us to every game. We love this game. Right down the freaking menu. We love this game. We love this game. We love this game. We love this game. They just. Years ago, McDam, and whoever's in here, Arian Brossman. Thank you, folks. I appreciate that. I'm not a tough guy. Years ago, when they had the services, they would call and they would say, "Well, where are you from, Jim?" And he'd say, "I'm from California." He'd say, "Well, yeah, okay, then we love the Bills in this game." Or then another guy would call and say, "Well, where are you from?" And they'd say, "Well, we're from somewhere on the East Coast." "Well, we'll give you Miami." So they give half the phone calls one side, and they give the other half of the phone calls the other side. So at least you're going to have 50% winners. DC White, DC White, thank you, man. Gosh, why you always make me feel like crying. Jeez, man. Wow, you got a robot on there? You got a robot and a thing doing backflips? I've never seen that before. This is all new to me. God bless you, DC White. God bless you, man. I appreciate your help. And I'm not a high roller gambler or anything like that. But yeah, they used to give half the phone calls one side of the bet and the other half. So then they'd always have at least 50% winners, because if those tout services gave the whole country the same game and it lost, everybody would lose and they'd lose credibility. But for 50% of those callers, you were the freaking best thing since sliced bread. So that's how that works. So May, thank you, DC White. Thank you, DC White. And you're gambling, DC White. We'll do in the members only. We'll be in contact in the members only for a video or something, and you come in. We'll do that. So, well, I've said a lot tonight. Jeez, DC, gosh, man, crushed me, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm humble. I appreciate, you get the message. So, that's that. Sammy the Bull, I believe, allegedly, yeah, he was with the FBI long before that. And, you know what I'm going to do? Try to do my next video on. Did Mike Francis ever have a hit on Sammy the Bull Gravano? And did Sammy the Bull Gravano ever have a hit on Mike Francis? Just some more content, just some more content. So that's that. This was only supposed to be a 12-minute video, but chirp, 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 chirp. And we'll do that. Stay in touch, DC White. If there's anything you want to know in my regular comments or anything on my channel, you have access to my regular comments, DC White. And whatever you do, I check things all the time, and we'll be in real-time correspondence, DC. Okay, you can guarantee that. So thanks a lot, folks. God bless you all. If you're not spiritual or anything like that, we did gambling talk, we did mob talk, but you know what? Just have love and compassion, and don't get twisted up like my brain does at times and everything else. And we got it. Whatever you believe in. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ or Dalai Lama or any of those, but just believe in love and compassion. There's people that are underdogs. They're trying to try it, and I'm guilty as charged. That no good, that no good. You should starve. You're no good. That ain't no good. I'm 60 years old. It took a long time. And I never was a tough guy. I might have been a little nuts, but I wasn't like tough like that. No, I wasn't raised that way. I was raised from a single mother, the Christian way, church school. My daughter was in Holy Family, St. Joe's, Notre Dame. That's not. I've got more of a spiritual background. I'm not a gangster guy, or I'm not one of them. I do not want to be defined like that. That would not be. My mother would frown upon that. No, my mom raised 5 kids by herself, and she did a great job. And I don't want to be perceived as that. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. DC White, gosh, you crushed me. You crushed me. And anybody else. I had to get rid of that James N guy. He's a troller in here. He's made some bad comments. I try to hang in there, but it's no time for nonsense. I've been putting up with that stuff for 2 years. 324 videos I've been putting up with that garbage. Not one of them ever bought my book. Not one of them. Tell us stories. Tell them stories. Not one of them. Not even one book sale. I mean, really? They're chiselers. One of the best books, 5 stars in England. They dead missed. 5 stars. And selling crickets on Amazon. Really? This will be a movie. I'm writing another book this winter. And I'm going to, and that's it. I've said a lot here, folks. You crushed my heart, DC White. I really appreciate that support, monetarily, and just the fact that, the gesture is priceless. The gesture is priceless. Just a gesture is priceless. That's, and yes, and the money surely comes in handy, of course. God bless you all. Stay great. Stay in a good frame of mind. Gambling's gambling and everything, but raise up in your own personal lives. Be the best version of you. That's we were born to be kings and queens, so that's a start. We got to catch up to that, all right? We were born to be kings and queens. I'm just trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up. I'm getting too old. I used to be a distance runner. Getting too old. I'm trying to catch up. Thank you. God bless you. We'll be back in DC. You go in my comments anytime. Boom, boom, boom. And we'll figure things out there. Thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate your support.